Hello, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Dara, coming to you with another episode of Cups and Conversations. Tonight, I have a phenomenal guest joining me tonight. Her name is Suzanne Margaret, and she is a phenomenal soul to meet. Let me tell you, I met her, and instantly our spirits were kindred. We started talking. We took up so much time. It was supposed to be a simple meet and greet. We stood there for at least 30 minutes talking about life and all that it brings you. And then we decided to have a lunch date and we shut the breakfast spot down. Do you hear me? From the time that it opened to the time that it closed, we were in there and we were birthing so many things within each other. So I want to share her with you because she has had a major impact on my life in a short amount of time. So if you have not already, like, subscribe, and bang that bell. Here we are on another episode of Cups and Conversations. I'm going to share you with the world. I am introducing to you Suzanne Margaret.
Hello and good evening, all you beautiful, beautiful goddesses. I am so excited to be here today. And I feel so honored to participate in Cups and Conversations. Dara is an amazing, amazing individual, and I just love her to pieces. And like she said, we literally shut down for our meet and greet. And engaged in some amazing opportunities to share with the world. And I am super excited to be sharing some of my story with you today. It's been a very tough journey and I've experienced a lot, but I am super happy to be here and share these things with you. And hopefully, we can help you get through some of the toughest days because it's hard to go through them alone. So you're probably going to see a little emotion from me today. Um, it's been a tough journey, like I said, and I'm excited to share it. And this is my actual first time engaging in publicly sharing it. So I'm super happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And I look forward to this episode of Cups and Conversations with Dara the Dreamcatcher.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to Cups and Conversations, Suzanne. Today, Suzanne and I are going to speak about healing. We are going to speak about healing and the rebirth after the healing. Because once you begin your healing journey, you go down what I call an onion effect or a rabbit hole. You start to peel back layers after layers after layers, finding out, okay, now why did I do this? Where did this come from? Why do I operate the way that I operate? Why do I handle things the way that I handle things? Why am I an overachiever? Different things that you can find within yourself that as you get older and as you experience different things, you want to figure out the why. Right? So after you go through your healing, you then want to figure out who you are now after you've gone through the healing. And I'll tell you one thing about healing, if you can agree, Suzanne, healing never stops, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sometimes it's a moment to moment. Sometimes it's a day to day. Sometimes it's I'm good for a while and you have to pick back up on it. You do have to take a breather from it because it can be very overwhelming and it can be a lot for you to take in at one time. Your emotions will be high. You'll experience the anger, oh my God, I finally got through it. So there's a whole lot to it. So absolutely. And it never stops because just like you said, you're peeling back layers. You don't start in the middle where it started. You start on the outer layers and you peel them back and you work through those and you heal, you understand, and then you take another layer and until you get to the center. And that's what's really important is taking it at your own pace as well and understanding that everybody's journey is different and their timeline is different. So You need to pace yourself and understand pulling back those layers is not easy. And you need a tribe. You need a
Yes,
tribe to help you get through it.
yes, that thing called tribe. Yes. So, Suzanne, I'm gonna let you explain a little bit about when you found out or figured out in your life that you needed to start your healing journey. Can you explain to the world when you started your healing journey, or even saw a need to begin healing?
I actually started my journey about a month before I turned 50. Oh, I'm sorry, before I turned 49. And I decided that it was time. I had been in a narcissistic relationship with a man that for, I don't know, 15 years, and had finally reached the point that I understood my worth, and I understood my participation in allowing these things to happen.
Yes, yes,
So I
yes.
Yes, so I had to take some step backs and look at myself. Um, but leaving this man and the abusive relationship and not understanding why you stay in it, I finally was like, okay, you know what? You just can't do this anymore. You can't take on all this darkness, all this negativity. I didn't even recognize myself anymore. Had no idea who I was. I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? It's time. It's absolutely time to heal and move on with life and stop hurting. Because when you hurt other people, and you have to take responsibility for that, and you have to help them heal as well. And sometimes you can't. Some of those people are not meant to stay on the journey with you. And despite your efforts, you cannot get them past that point. And you have to understand that that's okay. You have to take in accountability for your actions, not just the person or the situations that caused you harm, brought you trauma, brought you that pain. You have to look deep inside yourself and understand why you allowed those things to happen. And that is what we call shadow work. And that is something that I will be sharing with hundreds of women at a WOW conference in May of 2026. And I am super excited to be a part of that with Dara in this healing journey. When Dara and I met, we immediately knew that we had healing work to do, people to help, and people that needed to hear the stories and the rawness of what it takes to heal. And that is extremely empowering. Recognizing things deep within yourself that allow you to participate in trauma or pain, negative, toxic relationships. When you embrace that and you start healing from that, your light comes back
Mm.
and you're a whole different person. And all those things that you allowed, you no longer allow. Those things are not allowed in your life. And those things are called boundaries.
Sometimes we have to figure out that, yes, I might have to put myself in a situation that I'm not used to and I'm not comfortable with. But if it is better than what you're going through right now, you have to at least try to get yourself to a better place. You cannot continue to subject yourself to the hurt, to the pain, to the people that don't want to find a resolution, to people that are like, well, this is who I am and you're just going to deal with it. No, no longer. No longer. There has to be something better than this, because our life is supposed to be beautiful. Our life is supposed to be full of love. We are to be surrounded around people that love us, support us, and want what's best for us. So if that's not who's surrounded by you, then get uncomfortable. Get to a place where you are by yourself, where you can begin the healing of why you allow the things that you allow. And then those people that are supposed to be a part of your journey, they will come. They will find you. They want to be a part of your life, a part of your tribe, a part of your journey. But you have to make room for those people, because the good people that want to be around you aren't going to come if they see that you're allowing hurt and harm. And you're putting that above your own happiness. If you're putting that above your own happiness, you can't be around other people that want nothing but happiness for you. You're going to push them away. So marinate on those things and understand that there is always a way of escape. Like, subscribe, and bang that bell so you don't miss any content.
When you've healed from something, just like we said, pulling back that layer of the onion, you pull back something else. So you have something else to heal from. So the healing never stops. It's an endless journey. But how you learn to heal is the greatest part, because it's not always painful. It's not always traumatic. It's not always emotional. Sometimes you've recognized what you've allowed, and you see that, hey, you're human. You can't beat yourself up for the things that you allow to happen in this healing journey. There were endless amounts of time during my 6 years of healing at this point that I absolutely hated myself. And I could not believe what I allowed this man to do to me. And I look back on it now and it's utter disgust. But I don't hate myself anymore, because I learned to get past that. And this is what's so important, um, in not beating yourself down, because the world is ugly enough as it is. You've already experienced enough trauma. It's time for you to take the reins back of you, your life, your healing. You don't have to participate in toxic. You don't have to endure someone else's trauma. You are free to walk away at any point in time. I cannot stress that enough. Walk away at any point in time. I realize there's a lot of situations that don't allow that to happen immediately. And I realize that because I was in one. So I can appreciate that. But walk away. If you have to check out mentally before you do physically, then that's what you need to do. That's a super important part of healing, especially if you're still in a toxic relationship and you're trying to figure out how to heal and get away at the same time. You can't heal in a toxic environment. It's absolutely impossible. It's like putting rotten fruit with good fruit. Eventually, it all becomes rotten because, and I hate to say it, but you become a product of the environment that you're in. You become that toxic person. And those are the things that you have to, in your healing journey, figure out and learn about yourself. And that's not always easy. It's not easy to look at yourself and say, hey, what did I participate in? What part of me allowed that? What part of me is dark? What part of me is toxic? What part of me is unhealed from some trauma? These are the things we have to look at. So when you learn to empower yourself by walking away or taking that huge step to learning how to heal, or even just starting it, just taking that initial baby step and saying, you know what, I can't do this anymore. That's where your empowerment starts. And with that, you become that lighthouse in the dark, shining for everyone to see. And you will attract a lot of people that want your positive energy and that light, but they're not good for you because they want to take it away from you. But then you're going to find that genuine tribe of people that want to surround themselves with that light because they heal from it and they want to participate in helping you heal from it as well. So healing is, when I say it's nonstop, you kind of can't put it into words. You have to feel it, a lot of it. You have to own up to a lot. The journey that it takes you down is rewarding, but it's not for the weak. But I can actually laugh about a lot of it, which states a lot. So once you bring your light back in, you start to shine for other people. And there's a lot of darkness out there, and there's a lot of people that are just like me and Dara and you that just need to heal and feel better and bring that light back into themselves. And I'm here to tell you that I will not turn away a single person that actually reaches out to me and asks for help. I am here for that. Um, I am all about that. I took this journey and I've had to do it all by myself, alone, every step of the way. In the respect of, I have had a support group. My children have been my biggest fans. There's no lie in that. Um, and they have been actually my greatest inspiration. My children are grown, but they have absolutely been my biggest fans, my biggest support group. Um, and probably the most honest with me than anyone, which is fantastic. You need honest people in your life. So when that light comes in, you really do have an effect on other people around you, and that darkness seems to dissipate every single day, moment by moment, opportunity by opportunity, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. It's a lifetime journey, and it's pretty amazing, I will say. Would you not agree with me, Dara, in the respect of
Definitely
how
agree that it is definitely amazing. And what I can say is during my healing journey, some of the amazement started to show itself. Because once you get to a place, like a lot of times people think healing is, oh, it's just going to be so hard. I don't want to begin healing because the process is going to be so hard, or it's going to be so sad, or I got to revisit things that I thought I was over. But that's what healing is. The things that we thought that we were over, we never understood it. We never attacked it. What we did is cover it up and move on like it wasn't a problem. And that's
Absolutely.
not healing. Healing is confronting the thing. Healing is looking a thing eye to eye and saying, no longer will I allow you to have power over me.
That's right.
And that's with relationships with the opposite sex, same sex, parents, children, family members, friends. Nothing off limits when it comes to things being toxic in your life, things that you have to heal from. Because sometimes people don't even know that they're hurting you. Sometimes situations, you don't even know that they're hurting you because of where you come from, or the way that you were nurtured, or what you saw when you were growing up, that it looked like it was okay. Yes. It looked like it was allowed. And guess what? People will say, well, I'm 40, 50, 60 years old and I came out all right. But
Yeah.
did you? But did you?
No. And that's,
All right, you know?
yeah. Like there are grown people out here. I mean, I'll be 56 in January. And to touch on that for a moment, like there are grown men and women out here walking around that are just so toxic. They're still in this 20s, 30s mindset because they never grew and healed from all that trauma that they endured and those relationships that they continued their whole life. And they're just like, wait, why does nothing work for me? Everybody else is bad. They won't look at themselves. And you got all these grown people out here just spreading toxicity like it's the plague. It's
There are
crazy.
people out here that think that they're fine and they feel like, oh, I've made it this far with the way that I was raised or my environment or my atmosphere or whatnot. And in all actuality, you are carrying trauma. You are carrying triggers. There are things that happen around you that trigger you and you don't understand why because you haven't done the work to figure out where these triggers come from, right?
That's correct.
So
Absolutely.
on that a little bit, Suzanne, on how people walk around as if they are healed or there's nothing that they need to heal from, when in all actuality, there are triggers that go off. Can you explain some of those triggers that happen in everyday life for adults?
Absolutely. I mean, and I'll even take this to a step to relate it to my ex, the narcissist. This guy walks around and he thinks that the behaviors that he continues is okay. This guy is 53 years old. This is not acceptable. But he's also one of those ones that think it's okay because he saw his dad have multiple women in his life. So he thinks that that's acceptable, even when obviously myself and other people have said no, it's not. He even went to counseling and was like, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. We all
Yeah.
have an ugliness that resides in us. And it goes back to yin and yang. There's a darkness and a lightness. It's what you feed is what you show. So if you feed your dark side, you're going to be dark. If you feed your light, you're going to shine bright like a diamond. You're going to be that lighthouse in the harbor that brings the ships home. You are going to empower other people to see their worth and their value. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Yes, yes, yes. So listen, everybody, I know that you all want to hear so much more from Suzanne. And at this time, we are going to shift and go on to the game show. Get your paddles ready because it is game time. Now that we are ready to start the game time, with game time, I know you've seen it before, but those of you that haven't, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask some questions to Suzanne, and she will put a thumbs down if she's not feeling it, and she's going to put a thumbs up if she's experienced it and has something to say about it. So let's get started. Suzanne, here we go. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs
yes, ma'am,
down.
I'm ready.
Do you feel like a different person after the healing and growth? Okay, now explain to me what that different person looks like.
She is confident. She is raw.
Okay.
She is completely herself without apology.
Yes.
that is what that healing person is. She is also, I mean, she is the light. She shines her light and she shares it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Good. Okay. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Down to this next question. Have you developed new habits and routines after the healing? And what does that look like? Thumbs up or thumbs down? All right, tell us what those new habits look like.
So, in the healing process, one of the most important aspects of healing is learning to love yourself again.
I love it.
So, that looks like, for me, it's a lot of different things. I'm a very eclectic person, so I reach for a lot of different things to actually help me in that self-love department. And we can definitely touch on that. That's a hefty one there. But you learn to love yourself again, and you speak sweeter to yourself. Um, and for me, the rejuvenation process, how I get all my positive energy back is I choose to go to the beach at least once a week, and I'll probably walk about 7 miles. And I'll shark tooth hunt and sea glass hunt and fossils and whatever the universe decides she wants to gift me with. I hunt it all. And I work through things that I'm trying to process and heal from and create new love, self love, and new routines to make that part of my journey. You, you you have to dig deep inside to find out what really makes you smile. And those are the things that you
Yes.
have to embrace.
Yes, I love it. All right, last question. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Last question. Is healing for someone else or is healing for you? Thumbs up if it's for you, thumbs down if it's for someone else. Who is the healing for? Yes. All right.
Yes.
Explain to me why healing is for you. Go ahead.
So it's kind of like forgiveness. Forgiveness is never about the other person because you have no idea if that other person is actually going to change the behavior that you're actually trying to forgive them for. So, in order for you to be able to move on, you have to forgive that person so that you can heal. That forgiveness is never about them. So, that healing is never about them either. It's not about forgiving that guy that did the things that he did, or that best friend that slept with your boyfriend, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not about them. It's about you. Because at the end of the day, everything about you is what's important. And that may sound selfish, but it's not. You have to love yourself and you have to be whole before you can pour into somebody else. You can't help someone else heal if you're empty inside. So that healing, that forgiveness, that moving forward, it's all about you, baby.
Yes, 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 yes. It's all about you. We are going to go ahead and move to the next segment of the podcast, which is What's the Meme Mean? I will play a meme, and then Suzanne is going to tell you what that meme means to her. Here we go. Now tell me what the meme means.
What the meme mean? What the meme mean?
Ooh, such a powerful meme. So to me, you can't pretend like the damage never existed. It happened. You can't change the fact that it happened. It's there. It's always going to be there. So the damage has always existed. You have two choices. You can do something about it, or you can do nothing. If you do nothing, that damage will reside in your daily life and your thoughts and your actions until you do something about it. When you choose to do something about it, you learn to heal from that damage and move on from it. You step out of the quote unquote victim role that a lot of people unfortunately like to live in, that space. You step out of that role and you become the warrior. You become the empowered goddess. You become the empowered God. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to anyone or anyone's beliefs. You step into a new you. And that doesn't mean that that damage goes away. It means that you've learned how to understand it. You've been angry about it. You've cried about it. You've mourned it. And then you've accepted it. You've even probably laughed about it. I know I have my own. And then you just let it subside, and it's no longer a part of that daily journey that you take. It's one less thing that you carry on your back, so to speak. It's part of that healing that empowers you to level up and step into a new light. Because every single time that you battle one of your, I'm famous for calling them demons, you battle your demons, or you battle a challenge, something that's been haunting you, you battle your traumas, you, whatever you choose to call it, whatever it is to you, when you choose to step forward and you start healing from it, it doesn't get easier. It definitely doesn't get easier. It gets more challenging because you have to look at yourself on a deeper level. But when you step up, you have the ability to see yourself on that level and not be so hard on yourself and continue to grow and grow from it and grow. Like I said, we all have a darkness in us. It's what you feed.
If you are really serious about the healing journey, you have got to look inside. It's an internal thing, because like she just said, there are things that we allow. And I know that that's ugly for a lot of people to even think about. Oh, I didn't allow this. I didn't allow that. Even the word she used, victimize. We are not all victims if it's ongoing. If you are able to free yourself and you choose not to, and I know sometimes freedom is scary. You're like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to free myself from this situation. But if you never try to free yourself, you will never become free. You will never free yourself if you don't try.
You either become dark or you become that light. Every time you step up, you become that light. Every time you stay down here, you just stay stagnant and dark.
I love it. 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 Listen, everybody, so far on this show, if you have heard some things that are making your brain think, it's making you realize that there are some things that you have not yet healed from, I want you to go ahead and leave some comments. Let us know what you're going through. That way we can speak more on it. If you have questions or concerns, or you need some type of direction, listen, there are so many people in this world that have gone through so much that there is someone that can enlighten you on what they did to get through. You are not in this thing alone at all. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the challenge. Here's the challenge. If you have not already, go ahead, like, subscribe, and bang that bell so you don't miss any content. There are some things that Suzanne said that I am going to piggyback off of. When it comes to this thing called a challenge, every day that we wake up, we are challenged with so many different things. Every single day that we wake up, if there is breath in your body, you will face something today. And it can be something that's small, or it can be something that's major, or it can be a trigger that reminds you of something that you've been through before and you didn't know how to deal with it then, and you're not dealing with it well now. So what I have to say is, first and foremost, when it comes to deciding to heal, you have to also decide to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, because lying to yourself, saying things aren't bothering you that are, is lying to yourself. Saying that a person and the way that they act or behave does not affect you is lying to yourself. Saying that someone that said something to you that hurt your feelings, you're saying, oh, that doesn't bother me, is lying to yourself. Anything that you try, and I'm not saying don't speak life into yourself, but don't speak lies into yourself. Okay? Speak life, not lies. Because you have to be honest with yourself well enough to heal. Because on the journey of healing, there's going to be some ugly moments. There's going to be some times you look yourself in the mirror and you say, oh my goodness, I can't believe I allowed this for so long. You're going to say, I don't even recognize who I am because the old me wouldn't have allowed X, Y, Z. There are going to be some moments in your life that are going to drop you to your knees because of the hurt that it brings, or the hurt that's attached to it. But I'm telling you, one day you're going to get up and you're going to decide that your life is important. You're going to decide that you are important and that you deserve to be free and to walk in your freedom. But the only way to walk in your freedom is to confront that hurt, confront that pain, confront that person, confront that situation, and then stand true to what you believe in. Because like Suzanne said, it's not going to be easy going through the healing, because a lot of times we want to go back to what we're used to. So we'll go back to that relationship that we know is no good for us. We'll go back to that friendship that we know is no good for us. We'll go back to that situation that we know is no good for us. We'll go back to a job that we know is no good for us. We'll go back to living in a situation that is so uncomfortable, which is no good for us, just because it's familiar. But we have to learn to live in the discomfort, to be stretched, to be pulled, so that you can grow. The healing opens the door for growth. And I am telling you, Womb's movement has set a stage and a platform for any and everyone that is on the journey of growth. If you are truly on the journey of growth, check out our conference beginning 2025, May 16th through 19th in Fort Lauderdale. Check out our website, wombsmovement.com. There are so many people that are ready to tell their story. There are so many speakers and workshop directors that are ready to give you something tangible that you can apply to your life, that you will not be the same person that you were when you entered the doors of the conference. When you leave, you're going to leave empowered. You're going to leave inspired. You're going to leave ready to make a change in your life and to be that light that Suzanne is speaking of, that will draw other people that are ready. So you do not have to be alone. And that's what we're here to help you understand, that there is nothing too dark in your life that you cannot still come out full of light and love and experience to change someone else's life. But they have to be willing to embrace that change. They have to be willing to embrace your light. So thank you so much for tuning in today with us, for taking some time out of your busy schedule just to hear different stories, because there is someone that is going through these things right now. Some people can say, oh, that doesn't affect me, and it may not. But there are some people that it does affect. There are some people that still need to heal. And if this episode isn't the episode that affects you, check out the many other ones that's on Cups and Conversations on YouTube. And I guarantee there is something that is going to be relative to your life. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring Suzanne back on to give her final pours. And that is just her pouring back into the world from her cup that seems to be overflowing with empowerment and greatness and healing, that now she can share that overflow with you. So Suzanne, I will bring you back on so that you can just give the world your final pours of what you want to share with them moving forward in your life and theirs.
Thanks, everyone. And thank you so much, Dara, for having me on the show today and being able to share part of my story. As far as what you're pouring in, this is my goddess cup. Yeah, I'm a big mermaids and ravens, and I'm all about being a goddess. So what I pour into my cup is an overflowing amount of self-love. All of that healing, all of that darkness, all of that negative energy that we encounter on a daily basis from other individuals, whether it's in the workplace, on a personal level, just out and about shopping, no matter what it is. And it's important that you continue to make sure that your cup is overflowing. So for me, the things that I do, I ensure that self-love. And one of those self-loves is going to the beach, like I spoke of. That is monumental in my healing. And I honestly can't stress enough how important it is for you to fill your cup, fill yourself with love and generosity towards the words that you use for yourself. You can't keep calling yourself something negative and expect a different result. So you have to pour in that self-love, and all of that self-love is the encouraging words, the rituals that you do, whatever it is. For me, it's going to the beach. For me, it's carrying 3 different crystals in my pocket, in my left hand pocket every day. It's wearing protection. It's feeling the goddess that's empowered in me. That's what's my cup. You have to figure out what you want to pour into your cup, what your cup looks like. It looks different for every single person. It's not the same. All of our cups are different. Some are smaller, some are bigger. Some of us, we need to pour into ourselves more. And some of us, we've poured a lot into it, and we've gotten to a level that we don't have to pour as much in because we're not depleting it out anymore. So that's part of the boundaries, is making sure that you set boundaries so that your cup continues to overflow and not be depleted by all those negative energies and all those negative people that suck all of that away from you. So pour into yourself, pour into your cup, and let it overflow.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for taking time today to share with the world what you have put in your cup and the overflow, so that way they can pour into their cups as well. Thank you, everyone that has taken the time out to join us for Cups and Conversations today. What I always say is love yourself. Love yourself, and all other love is but a bonus. If you are trying to reach Suzanne because you want to follow her, because you love her spirit, you love her words, or you have any follow-up questions, you can reach her on social media. She also has just birthed her business, Creating a Goddess. So follow her. Look out for Creating a Goddess because it is here to stay. Have a great evening. Here's to Cups and Conversations. Have a great one.